All right, well, the discussion ends on Hangout, but it continues here in the studio, and we have been joined by Demola Olarewaju. He's a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much, Demola, for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. So from your perspective, what explanation is there for this renewed incessant bombings in the country?
Yes, I think it has to, there are a lot of things that can be said about that, mostly because we've had a change of government, and the previous government had a clear agenda on security. This government, contrary to what it said, that it was going to hit the ground running, I think we've not seen so much of that security-wise. You still have the military hierarchy in place, you have the National Security Advisor in place, so it's still a continuation of that, but the military does not seem to have clear marching orders already, particularly when you consider the fact that an Amnesty International report that came out said that the Nigerian army might be guilty of some human rights offenses, and the presidency indicated that they would be probing the military to find out how true that is. Of course, such a statement has it has the effect of dampening the morale of the Nigerian soldiers. Another part of it is that there has been a lot of body language from the presidency that amnesty might be granted to Boko Haram, and so perhaps that may be one of the reasons. But these are just reasons. These are conjectural reasons of why these attacks may have resurged in the past week. But all in all, I think Nigeria surely has the capacity to defeat Boko Haram.
But I mean, you seem to have taken a side. I mean, don't you think it's just too early for you to start saying, I mean, the command has been relocated according to the order of the president, but don't you think it's just too early for you to connect that to the renewed bombings in the country? Don't you think there seems to be no relation?
Well, there is definitely a correlation. Now, the Command and Control Center was moved to Maiduguri, Borno State, and ever since that order has been given, there have been more attacks in Maiduguri than there were since the beginning of the year. The attacks, as a matter of fact, this week we are ending, has witnessed the greatest upsurge of insurgent attacks under this present government. So it's not really a question of taking sides. It's more or less a question of saying that this government needs to be up and doing in terms of security. Security, we've had attacks so far in Potiskum, we've had attacks in Borno, we've had attacks in Zaria. And these are places where we had already gotten used to the idea of reduced attacks. So I think there is need. I don't think it is too early for us to try to save lives. I don't think it is too early for us to try to tell the government that, look, you need to be aware of your responsibilities in terms of security. Because as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why some people kicked out the former government was because of the security problems. People said, oh, look, these are the issues, and we feel that a former military man will be able to handle this. Some even went as far as saying that this was the man who single-handedly rooted out Metesene in the 1980s, that so therefore coming out now, he will be able to uproot Abubakar Shekau and the Boko Haram crew. But so far, the attacks seem to have escalated. Having said that, I think it is, however, commendable that this government has met with the Bring Back Our Girls campaigner, concerned and made a vow that every single Boko Haram member will be apprehended and those girls will be returned, that those girls will be brought back. I think it is a good move, one which the former government was unable to take advantage of security-wise. But the president has come out and he has sent a very clear message. So we are just saying that he should be more alive to his responsibilities to the Nigerian citizens.
Now, follow what you have shared with us. You commend the government for meeting with, the Chibok girls. And then at first you were like, oh, he hasn't really hit the ground running as a promise. And then you also said his body language seems he wants to grant amnesty to Boko Haram militants. Don't you think you're contradicting yourself in these areas?
What I'm saying is this. The president and the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has a responsibility to the Nigerian citizens. So far, he is not handling the security responsibility quite well. But we cannot say that everything has been totally wrong. Moving the Command and Control Center to Maiduguri is a step in the right direction. Meeting with some parents of the Chibok girls and the Bring Back Our Girls campaigner is a step in the right direction. He has got some things right. However, sending a clear signal that some of the military men who are currently engaging Boko Haram in the north, sending a signal that they will be probed based on an Amnesty International report you know, is a bit demoralizing.
But don't you think he was just, I mean, following the international steps, you know?
Well, he was following the international steps.
We have to be part of the global world.
I mean, let us put ourselves in the shoes of soldiers who are there. You are walking in a crowd, you are walking I mean, terrorists do not come out with their terrorism written boldly on their faces. And so sometimes there's possibility of collateral damage. But when you are in such a situation, you calculate the collateral damage and you calculate what you are trying to, your mission objective, and then you weigh, you make a decision. That decision will be made by you. But saying what he said as commander-in-chief, I mean, when Barack Obama was faced with the same situation in Iraq, faced with the same situation concerning Guantanamo Bay, concerning Afghanistan, he did not send such a message to please the international world. You stay with your troops because you are the commander-in-chief. You sent those boys to war. And so whatever probe you want to do, you do not go to announce it trying to pander to the wishes of the international world. No, we are the ones who have the problem. And then again, you know, you look at the fact of the Chad, the Beninois, and the Chad and the Cameroonians and the Nigerians who have also joined this effort. Saying that you are going to probe, I mean, of course, such things are likely to expose us as a laughingstock when it comes to military tactics. But that is not to say that all Nigerians, I believe, must get behind this government to be able to tackle the security challenges that Nigeria is currently facing. All
right, thank you so much, Demola, for sharing your thoughts with us.
The pleasure is mine.
And we hope you will go beyond just, you know, the talking and add your own action to solving the problem.
I'm not going to be picking up a gun, but I will continue to do what we can do.
All right, thank you so much, Demola.
Thank you.
From having the opportunity to share Demola's thoughts on the issue of the increase in Boko Haram bombings in the country recently, we'll now go to, well, something that is not really that serious. It's the 5 most watched videos that you have been watching on our stations. We'll bring that to you as well as your messages to us for the week.
We begin this week's top 5 videos with the brawl that ensued between factions of honorable members of the House of Representatives over persons to occupy leadership positions. In 4th place is last year's debacle in the Edo State House of Assembly.
Is it my father or your father? Yes, your father. My father. Yeah. Just come here, do things with impunity and go.
The 3rd most viewed video is the wedding of Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole to this Cape Verdean beauty.
She is a full-blooded African, and I'm happy about the fact that God revealed her to me.
He's such a lovely, lovely person. He's very sweet and patient, and I'm just grateful to God. He's a wonderful man.
A caucus meeting of the ruling APC that ended in near fisticuffs comes in as the 2nd most viewed video. And the karate moves of members of the Benue State House of Assembly still seem to be tickling the fancy of our YouTube subscribers as the video tops the most viewed video list for the second week running.
Those were the comments you sent to our Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus pages, as well as the top 5 videos you watch the most on our YouTube channel. As Nigerians, both home and abroad, continue to prefer solutions to terrorism in the country, the task rests largely on the shoulders of the government to ensure the peace and safety of all citizens. This is where we draw the curtains on today's edition. However, the conversation continues online via the addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Ini Thompson.